Hey guys, it's Marco again, today with a dungeon guide. We'll be taking a look at Plaguefall dungeon on Mythic difficulty. Dungeon is located in southeast part of Maldraxxus. It's distinctive on the map since you'll see a lot of green water pools. Every dungeon in Shadowlands has unique buffs or things which can be used by the players. In Plaguefall case, it's Maldraxxus dungeon, so you will be wanting a player in Necrolord Covenant with you in the dungeon, since they will be able to get unique buffs. But I can see that high mythic plus parties will want at least one player from a Necrolord Covenant. Necrolords will be able to use their signature ability on the corpses of the slimes, each slime giving a buff. Gushing Slime gives Corrosive Gunk, Pestilence Slime gives Rapid Infection, and lastly Congealed Slime gives Congealed Contagion. While on topic of slimes, the whole instance has a bunch of pools with green acid, and each time you step into it, you gain a stack of Consecrated Plague. Every 3 seconds that you spend inside the acid, you will get one more stack. Don't get to 10 stacks, you will become Plaguefallen. Finally, we can take a look at the most notable adds before the first boss. First mob which you can accidentally pull is Plague Rock. He deals a good amount of damage, but the most important thing to look out for is Wing Buffet, which will send you flying in a wide frontal cone. Good thing is that it doesn't have a big range. Decaying Flesh Giant. Big boys who just spam green swirlies on players in your party. After a few seconds it hits the ground, does some damage and leaves a nasty green pool. Fungalmancer. Main guys of the small mushroom parties. They have Binding Fungus, uninterruptible cast which leaves a small branchy patch on the ground. If you step on it, it roots you and does some damage. His main ability is Wonder Grow, which buffs all his allies with a 15% damage buff. This is interruptible, but if you're a mage, you want to spell steal this. You can also stack the buff. Fungi Stormer. The most dangerous mob. He only does a fungal storm, huge toxic blaze storm, and you must hard CC him so he stops the casting. After you pass the small corridors, you need to clear the whole boss room. It's filled with gushing slimes, which are nasty in numbers. They pulse damage every 1 second within 10 yards, so try not to pull them all at once. When you clear the whole area of slimes, pull Plague Belchers in one by one. They have a nasty frontal cone, so tend to avoid it. After some time they will call little slimes in, which just want to run to them. If they reach the Belcher, they will heal them for the amount of HP left, and they will give him a damage buff. You don't need to kill them, you can just mass crowd control them. First boss is Globgrog. He has a large frontal cone attack and it targets a random player, so be close enough to the boss to dodge it. He also does a stomp, which knocks the whole party away from him and applies a nasty disease, which deals some damage and slows you. The only other ability is the same one as with the Belchers. He spawns 4 slimes, 3 on the far side of the boss and 1 close to him. Far ones are faster with less HP and close one is slower with a bigger health pool. These slimes are CCable, but depending on the boss health, you either want to burst down the boss, or kill 3 fast ones and just CC the slow one. Trash packs before second boss. There are unstable canisters laying on the ground, you can DPS them to destroy them. They explode 5 seconds after you kill them, dealing a huge damage and leaving a nasty dot. This can also damage the enemies, so if you're struggling, tank can pull mobs onto them for some nice damage. Blighted Spinebreakers. They spawn brownish swirlies on the ground, which erupt after a few seconds, dealing big damage and knocking the players up. Most notable ability is a big frontal cone, which does a huge amount of damage and it knocks you away from the mob. After they die, they spawn 5 little oozes. You must kill them before they finish their cast. They have a small health pool and you can also step on them. Rot Marrow Slime. It has a cast which leaves a dot to everyone standing within 10 yards, preferably interrupted. If you can't interrupt it, just don't be as close as I was. The dot stacks, so be careful about it. After you clear few packs, you're coming to a gauntlet event. Rigged plague borers keep coming in until you kill the mini-boss. Leave them for the tank, don't attack them since they will just die by themselves. Just don't get hit by their casted explosions. On the first platform you'll have to deal with 2 tentacles, which activate when you're near them. Just make sure that the tank is close to them, or they will start casting. Lastly, the mini-boss just does some interruptible damage spell, and he has an AoE ability, which can't be interrupted, so run away from him when he starts casting it. After the gauntlet, there will be 4 small islands with mobs on them. You want to clear 3 islands of mobs before you pull the boss. But bear in mind, the boss starts moving when you pull the first pack. The only new mob is Pestilence Slime, which you want to interrupt or it will deal damage to the whole party. Dr. Ickus has 2 intermission phases at 66 and 33%. When he hits the health threshold, he'll jump away to a different platform and summon 2 adds. The Bomb Slime and a Damage Reduction Slime. The way to deal with this is that the tank takes the Damage Reduction Slime and the boss, while the DPS kills the Bomb Slime. After that, kill the Damage Reduction Slime. If there is no slimes, the boss is just going to do slime injection debuffs, which should be dispelled as soon as possible, and this will summon a small ooze, which is easy to kill and also you can just step on it. His other mechanic is Slime Lunge. He jumps on a random player, doing some damage on the impact, and leaving a zone in X formation, which will erupt for additional damage. Trash packs before the third boss. It's a huge open area filled with slime. You can avoid almost all mobs. Just care about the tentacles and don't get your slime debuff too high or you'll end up as my tank. New adds here are Defender of Many Eyes, a boring mob which will cast a bulwark on an area, which reduces the damage taken of all mobs by 90%, and you'll need to hard CC him as soon as possible. Venomous spiders should be pointed away from the group by the tank. They have a frontal cone ability which targets the tank. Lastly, Brood Ambushers. They cast enveloping webbings. The cast does no damage, it only roots the players inside. The more important cast is Stealthlings. It spawns a bunch of little ugly spiders which are stealthed. But you can see where the ability went. You need to attack them and burst them down before they finish their cast. Also, you can crowd control them. If they're left unchecked, they can one-shot someone. Domina Venomblade is a fun but an easy fight. I was a bit scared when doing it, since it sounded really scary on the paper, plus she's a big spider. She only has 3 mechanics. Solitary Prey, which commands you to stuck under her. If you aren't close to a player for 10 seconds, you will get wrapped until the player gets you out. She will periodically mark players with Shadow Ambush. When the buff expires, it stuns you and everyone close to you. So at the end of the duration, run out of the group and get stunned. The last ability is Brood Assassins. She summons 4 stealthed assassins. They will be in the middle of their webs, just casting Assassinate. Your job is to get them out of stealth as quickly as possible. Once out of stealth, they basically do nothing. And to get them out of stealth, you just need to damage them. Fourth and last trash pack. The only new mobs here are Plaguebound Devoted. Their melees hit like a truck, but they're really slow, so you can kite them. Some of them will have an ooze coat, which makes them take reduced AoE damage. There will be a mini-boss in the last room, but he only casts small hitting bolts. Focus on killing Plaguebound Devoted, and after you kill them all, the final boss spawns. Final boss spawns a small ad which can be bursted down. The ad casts Touch of the Slime, a small AoE on the ground, and tank should soak it. If no one soaks it, it does the damage to the whole party. Also, the boss will summon tentacles, which will hit all areas, except the one in which she spawned the ad. Other than that, she'll only cast a party AoE dot, which healers need to look out for. At 66 and 33%, Margrave's Radama takes a bath in her slime pool and becomes untargetable. She spawns few Plaguebound Devoted, tank just picks them up and you AoE them. The boss will spawn 3 different patterns of tentacle smashes and your job is to dodge them. Under 33% HP, she no longer spans the small ad, she'll call in waves of Plaguebound Devoted and she'll do a random pattern of tentacle smashes. And that's it. You managed to beat the whole dungeon. Congrats, and I hope that you get the loot that you wanted. That's it for this video, 7 dungeons left to cover. Since this is my first video of this type, I'm open to suggestions. Do you think that this was a nice guide or do you want something improved? Other than that, did you know that 92.8% of the people who watch me aren't subscribed? So please do me a favor and like the video and subscribe to my channel for more content. But until next time, take care.